Hello, what is up you guys? Benji here from Teach Frog, and today we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of an ESL job interview. In this video, I'm going to be going through 4 scenarios that you will inevitably come across in the interview, and I'm going to be giving you an example of a do and an example of a don't, okay, for each scenario, and basically just analyze with you each of these situations and let you know how best you can tackle them. Now, obviously, some of them are going to be more obvious than others. I'm actually going to leave it up to you to guess which one is a do and which one is a don't, but don't worry, I'll let you know after each one which was the do and which was the don't, but it's always fun to guess, right? But before we continue, guys, if you like this video, please give it a huge thumbs up, and if you love it, please subscribe down below for more videos. Let's get started. So here is the first scenario. Hello, I'll be your interviewer today. Could you please start off by telling me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your qualifications? Yes, certainly. My name is Benji. I come from London in the United Kingdom. I have a bachelor's degree as well as a TEFL certificate. A little bit about me. Well, I like to run. I really like to run. I like books and stuff. Hello, I will be your interviewer for today. If you could just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your qualifications too. Yes, of course. So my name is Benji. I come from London in the United Kingdom. I have a bachelor's degree as well as a TEFL certificate. A little bit about me. So I love arts and crafts. I absolutely love arts and crafts. In fact, I went to America and I worked on a summer camp as an arts and crafts director back in 2014, which was amazing, and that's when I kind of found my love of teaching as well, which is really cool. So that one was fairly obvious. So of course, example number 1 was a don't, and of course example number 2 was a do. Now, why is that? Well, if you look at example number 1, of course I was not nearly as cheerful and as bright, and obviously the interviewer, the first thing they are going to be looking for is personality. So they'll have a demo class, which normally, like, applicants, they kind of come out of their shell a bit more for, but you need to be consistent, so you need to show that personality to begin with, like I did in the second example. Also, a really, really important thing that I did in the second example was I related what I was saying about myself to teaching. Now that's really important because the interviewer doesn't really care too much about, you know, if you like jogging, if you like food, I don't know, they don't really care. What they want to find out is what kind of person you are in relation to teaching. So always relate what you're saying about yourself to teaching. So let's get to scenario number 2. So why do you want to become a teacher with us? So I've always wanted a work from home job. I've always thought that that was a really good idea for me because it's actually, because I have 2 kids, it means it's a lot more flexible for me. I can like work at my own pace, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Also, I want to become a teacher with you specifically because you have such great pay. Your pay is some of the highest that I've seen in the industry, so yeah, that's one of the main reasons I really want to work for you guys. So why do you want to become a teacher with us? So a big reason that I do want to become a teacher with you guys is because you guys offer class sizes of 6. And in my previous work in Japan, I worked with classes of about 6 to 10 students. So I think I've honed in my skills in order to deal with such an environment, having multiple students. So of course, example number 1 was a don't, and example number 2 was a big fat do. So why is that? Well, because the company wants to know what you will bring to them. They do not care what you can get from the company. You know, for example, if you tell them that you're looking for, like, you know, why you want to become a teacher with them, because of flexible hours, because they're a really great company, they have a good reputation, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to develop myself further and my teaching abilities, but they don't care about that. They want to know exactly why they should throw money at you. Okay, and you'll notice what I did in the second example was I actually found something that the company specializes in, and I took my own personal experience and made that a reason as to why they should hire me. So what I'm saying is, I told the company that I'd worked with children or students 6 to 10 per class, and this particular company offers their classes 6 to 10 or 6 students per class. Okay, so you could even say I'm used to working one-on-one, and if it's a company that exclusively does one-on-one classes like Dada does, then you could say that. You could say, well, the reason I want to become a teacher with you guys is because you guys do one-on-one classes, and I actually had loads of experience tutoring privately one-on-one classes, so yeah, therefore blah 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 blah. So you've really made it relevant to their specific company, and the more you hone that in, the more likely they are to kind of respond to that and give you the job. Scenario number 3. So could you please tell me about your previous experiences as an ESL teacher? So yeah, I worked as an ESL teacher for 5 years with my previous company, but I left them just to pursue something a bit more opportunities, something that pays a bit more money, and things like that. I felt like a bit restricted in that job. So can you please tell me about your previous experiences as an ESL teacher, please? So yeah, I previously worked as an ESL teacher for another company. I did that for 5 years. I learned so much in that company. So I went from rookie when I first started out to professional teacher. I've not looked back since. And I'd love to be able to transfer those skills that I learned from that company to your company. So, of course, example number 1 was a big fat don't, and example number 2 was a big fat do. So, why is that? Well, if you're being interviewed for an ESL company, do not mention that you quit your last company unless explicitly asked, okay? If they ask you, you can't lie, okay? You have to tell them that you quit, but don't volunteer that information, okay? Because of course it makes you look totes unreliable, and just, yeah, how do they know that you're not going to do that to them? So just don't mention it. Okay, let's roll on to the 4th and final scenario. So, do you have any questions before we go? No. Oh. Yeah. Well, okay. Thank you very much. So, do you have any questions at all? Yes, actually, I saw on your website that you're asking for me to commit to 10 hours per week. Now, does that include weekends? Because I wasn't quite sure, it didn't seem to say anywhere. Also, what's your cancellation policy, your emergency cancellation policy? Because I couldn't seem to find it anywhere on your website. So, of course, example number 1 was a big fat don't, and example number 2 was a big fat do. So, they were kind of all in the same order for this video, but never mind. But there you have it, guys. Those are the scenarios that you are so likely, if not 100% certain, that you will come across them. But don't panic. It is just an interview. At the end of the day, look at it as that they're just like some pixels on a screen. It's not nearly as bad as if it's like a physical interview, so really don't sweat it. One thing I would like to add is before your interview, make sure that your internet is working at its most glorious. Because that will just kill your entire, none of what I've just said before matters if your internet cuts out and it's just like awful. please make sure your internet's great. If you've got an Ethernet cable, please use it, because that'll just be fantastic. Yeah, so basically, I'm going to make a separate video for the actual, because most of these companies you'll have to do a demo class. So I'm gonna make a separate video of the do's and don'ts of a demo class. This was just for the preliminary interview, just kind of like seeing who you are as a person. And yeah, these are some really, really valuable tips, guys, so please do remember them when you're doing your interview. And best of luck. I believe in you. You will get this job. The universe is on your side. Take this as a sign. You will get the job. All right, ciao for now, guys. Mwah!